Today we're going to be covering some do's and don'ts of your Achilles tendinopathy issues. You're going to want to listen to this video. Be sure to stay tuned to the end because we're going to get into some more advanced exercises and learn how to do so much sooner than what many rehab professionals, a lot of times they wait till you have no pain to start a plyometric progression. You can start plyometrics earlier if you know the rules behind why and have a system about progressing those activities. The first don't is if the Achilles pain is on the bottom half of your Achilles, you don't want to be stretching it, especially initially when the pain levels are highly fluctuating or very variable. Say if your pain at rest is a 1 or a 0, but with activity it gets up to a 6. We don't want to be stretching it if the pain is below the bottom half of the Achilles towards the heel. Now, eventually you do want to stretch it, so that means when the pain level becomes less volatile and that range of discomfort is a 0 at rest and maybe a 2 or 3 at the most out of 10 with activity, then it is okay to kind of start stretching and gradually exposing it to the stretch position. But that is the first don't, is if your pain is highly variable with activity, we don't want to be stretching the bottom third of the Achilles. Now, if the top half of the Achilles is what is painful for you, so a higher Achilles injury, then it is okay to start stretching pretty much immediately right after you start experiencing pain or discomfort. So that's one of the key differences of where the location of your Achilles injury is at, is if you do or do not stretch the Achilles tendon initially upon injury. Going on that theme a little further, another don't for your Achilles if you're experiencing the bottom half pain is don't do your calf raises through a full range of motion. This is going to be irritable for your Achilles tendon, especially again if your pain level is highly volatile, meaning anywhere from 0 out of 10 to upwards of a 6 out of 10. That high volatility where there's large swings of pain, we don't want to be going through a full range of motion. Instead, what we do want to do is go through a partial range of motion just down to neutral and load that up as aggressively as we can until the pain level subsides and the volatility narrows to, again, 0 to 3 out of 10 with activity. And then eventually, once that pain level becomes less sensitive, then we can start taking it down through a full range of motion. As that pain level subsides, we do want to get back into strength training through a full range of motion. The next thing you don't want to do with an Achilles tendinopathy is you don't want to perform a knee bent calf stretch when, again, that pain is highly volatile, especially if you're dealing with pain at the bottom third of the Achilles tendon. If the pain is at the top third of the Achilles tendon, then we can start doing knee bent calf raises right away. So again, the location of where your Achilles pain does matter. The next don't for Achilles issues is you don't want to underload the Achilles tendon. So you should use a heavy load when you're doing your calf raises, whether that's seated or standing. You want to use the heaviest load that you feel comfortable using, and their pain level, again, does not become highly volatile. It should be reasonable amount of discomfort, again, 0 to 3 at the most. We do want to load the Achilles tendon heavy, and I would favor less range of motion and more load for individuals who have bottom third Achilles tendon pain, and I would favor more range of motion and less load if you're in a top half Achilles tendon pain. Isometrics are a great exercise that people love to do, but again, location matters. So if you're having pain at the top portion of your Achilles tendon, isometrics aren't necessarily bad, but I don't do them as often. Often, again, the top half of the Achilles tendon wants to be stretched, and so you would do a lower isometric that is at the bottom portion of that calf raise position, and you would hold that for 15 seconds minimum, 30 seconds maximum. Again, heaviest load that you feel comfortable doing. Now, if the pain is at the bottom third, again, of your Achilles tendon, then let's load it up at that top range position, because again, we want to avoid the stretch position of the Achilles in that circumstance for the initial portion of your treatment, again, when that pain is highly volatile. And then final stages are often returning back into plyometric exercises where we're adding elasticity to the tendon. Again, we don't want to do this initially when the pain level has these large swings from 0 to 6 out of 10. We want that pain level to be narrowed from 0 to 3 out of 10 before we initiate plyometrics that are ankle dominant. So exercises such as this, a pogo hop up to a box, is a really very ankle dominant or Achilles dominant exercise. Obviously, single leg is a lot more challenging, but if you're having large swings of pain, again, that exceed that 3 out of 10 level, then a lot of times we can initiate plyometrics that are more knee dominant to begin with. And so a lot of times those who have highly volatile pain in their Achilles tendon, they can tolerate more of a knee dominant jump. So if you're experiencing pain that exceeds a 3 out of 10, you might want to start with more knee dominant based plyometrics that require you to bend your knee a lot more to take on a lot more of that force and distribute the force between the ankle and the knee. So box jumps and landing from a box jump are a great example of that. And if you aren't an athlete, you can scale that to a level that's appropriate for you. You don't have to start with very high box, just start with what you're currently capable of doing. A nifty way of making it more challenging is just landing on one leg. Off 2, onto 1, and sticking that landing. And again, you can do landings off a smaller box that are more knee dominant, but still require the Achilles to take on some of that load. Single leg is obviously harder than 2 legs. So that's a simple way of initiating the plyometric progressions. Many times you can do them sooner than what people actually think they can do. There you go. Those are some key do's and don'ts for Achilles tendon issues. If you have any questions, drop them down below in the comment section. If you have any future videos that you'd like to see us do specifically, drop them down in the comment section below. Be sure to like, subscribe to the channel to get updated anytime we have a new video posted. And be sure to check out sportsrehabexpert.com for all our workout injury plans so that you can work out with confidence and get back to the activities that you enjoy doing without any pain.